Now I'm trying to find a job. Getting close.
Hi, this is a question for Eddie as a director. I'm an aspiring director, and I enjoy working with actors. And I've been told that many actors, once they reach a certain status, I guess, won't take direction anymore. I've heard that, Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman, they just won't take direction. Have you encountered that as a director, and how do you feel about that?
I think that they're in good form when they don't want to take direction because basically they know what they're doing. And I think short of being able to be creative and constructive with the direction that you give, very few people give me direction. I mean, very few. And when they do, I'm very grateful because usually they're saying something that needs to be understood. But I don't mind it. If they mind it, then they're in a problem because they are still the actor. And the director has the overall view of the entire piece, but in that respect should never be broken under any circumstances. But saying that, I don't think I ever said anything to any of you guys when I directed. Did I ever say anything to anything? Did I say it? I don't think I did that. No, everybody knew what they were doing, and they came in and did their work. And we had to make sure that the cameras were in position from a psychological point of view that was correct. And that's really what we were doing in the speed that we're working at. You really don't have time to direct in that manner. Just bringing people up to speed. So I've had no problems with Callis, Callis, and Mary McDonald doing the scene. I just remembered one. Doing the scene where Callis is sitting in the jail, and she comes up and she says to him, you're going to have to tell us, or you're going out the airlock, and they're threatening each other. And she didn't like her dialogue, and Callis didn't like his dialogue. And I said, good, then we're going to cut the scene. Thanks, guys, go on. Wait. And don't be so, let's just work on it. I said, okay, well, work on it, let's go. What do you want to do? Well, I think I want to say this and this and this. And I said, okay, great. How about you? Well, I want to say this. Well, we ended up doing the scene that was written. Because the writers had written the scene really well. And they finally learned what they were doing in it by exploring it. In their way, they said, you know what, let's do it. Yeah, I think they're right. That is the right way. They thought about it and went through it. But other than that, as a director, just know that unless you can augment the situation and really move the scene to a higher state of understanding, if somebody's doing their work, I don't know why a director would even talk. There's no reason for it. Just to hear your own voice or to feel like you're in control, you're going to have a little bit of a problem. There are a lot of people out there that are just going to turn around and say, please just sit down. Go back to the monitor. Quick. So again, it's not easy to direct, and it's not easy to act, and it's not easy to do good film. And I gotta tell you, it's a collaborative effort, and it's a really difficult one. So less is more when it comes to directing, unless you just have to really drive it to a place where nobody has gone to, and everybody's going to have to join you and follow you. And that's what happens in a lot of cases with something magic. I mean, I just finished working with Michelle Godry in The Green Hornet. There's an inventive mind and completely just is thinking about something else. So you interpret something, and all of a sudden you get there and you say, well, can I talk to you about this? Yeah. This is what, okay, that's what you had in mind. All right, well, let's try that. Yeah, of course I wasn't going that way. I'd never even thought of it. And that's what director, and if you did that to Hackman, or to any one of us, we'd be saying thank you to you for getting us to the point of understanding it to a higher level of what is happening at that moment. So, yeah, sometimes be aware that some of the stuff that hits, it's like what happened with, what was the young guy's name that blew up with the sound man? I mean, with the sound on, because the director, Christian Bale. felt that, because I mean, that position, it really, I understood why he blew up. Yeah, I mean, it was tough. Did you hear about that, right?
He asked him 5 times to not do that.
To stop walking in front of my eye line to go do something while we're filming the scene. You were filming the scene, well, yeah, but I gotta change the line. Okay, but let me finish the scene, then you get up and you go over and you say, I gotta change the line for a second, everybody. Then you change the line. Don't, in the middle of the scene when I'm working, jump up and go change the line. There's some actors that would have not even said anything. They would just walk off the stage and say, get that guy out of here. I will not work with him again. Because it's really delicate and it's a really difficult situation. I myself have lost it many times in my 40-some years. I'm sure that you have too. Almost, I think I've lost it and said, please, quiet on the set. You know, and how many people scream that out? Just shut up! Everybody, don't breathe! You know, fucking shit happens. And so, again, as a director, as a young director, just understand that you're working, and it's a collaborative effort. And yes, you're going to be working with sometimes very people who need direction and people who don't. And that's your job, to understand that portion of it. And to be ready for the people who have an ego and you can't deal with it at all. And you're really in trouble.
Create an environment that's conducive to good work. That's what I always say. And when I have, when things are going sideways, I usually just grab on my new show, I just grab one of the producers and I say, dude, this is not an environment conducive to good work, so you need to change it. I had a meltdown on BattleStar one time when Callie shoots Boomer. They're marching her through the hallway, and Callie just comes out and does the Ruby. And Grace, Boomer dies in the Chief's arms. And they were getting in for our close-ups, and it was a really, really difficult, challenging moment to do. And Grace was having a really hard time, and there was a bunch of background players behind us that obviously got tired of continuing to do the scene over and over and over again and just started joking around. So we would be going, we would literally be in the middle of the scene and you'd hear little giggles from behind us because some guy's making fart jokes or something. So I asked them to shut up, and it was really throwing Grace. She was coming right out of the scene because she kept hearing this, and then she'd kind of come out of it and I'd say, we need to start again. And I asked this guy's nicely to be quiet. I grabbed one of the ADs and I said, you guys gotta be quiet. And it kept going and going and going. And then one time there was, they said action, and one of the background guys hit the punchline of his joke, and they all started laughing. And I said, Grace, just sit here for a second. And I stood up and I screamed obscenities at that guy and a whole bunch of people, and I stormed off. And it wasn't in my close-up, I just stormed off. But it was because Grace wouldn't do it, and she needed it. So I walked off the set, and I went into another stage and just kind of stood there for a minute. And Harvey Frand came over and said, what's going on? And I said, this is what's going on, dude. And he, okay. So then we went back, we started filming again, and it lasted for about 10 minutes. The silence lasted for about 10 minutes, and then Buddy started joking around again. And I got up and I said, you have no idea how hard this is. You have no idea how hard it is what we're doing. You don't have a clue. But screaming, obviously. And I stormed off again. And when I came back, that guy was gone. He was sent home, and the other ones were terrified. But that was not my job to do. But when other people are not doing the job, creating that environment, sometimes the actor takes it upon themselves, because ultimately it's our face on the screen, it's our work that's there. And when you see bad acting, it's either a bad actor or it can be just a really crappy day in a really crappy environment and a really crappy director or really crappy producers, or you're just Keanu Reeves, I don't know.